right, folks, let's take a look at the board game news. Different games are being announced, so here we go. First, we have a refresh. I guess this is the new way to say second edition of Dixit. Well, no, I mean,
if nothing changes, they can't really call it a second edition, right?
Maybe it's only artwork and components change.
It has a board now that looks different. It looks like a standalone board.
And you use dials instead of tiles. So the original one you would put out, they had 1 through 6, and you would put one next to each card. So here it looks like you're using dials. It also looks like this. If that picture's correct, it's showing 8 players. Dixit only went to 6.
Okay. This looks cute. Yeah.
So it's the same game, refreshed components, extra players added.
I recognize those cards in the picture, so I think the artwork will be the same.
I recognize that logo on the cover right there at the end. Look at that, right next to Spiel des Jahres, baby.
That's true. That's pretty cool.
I see.
Folks, if you've never played Dixit, it is an amazing party game. It's really, really good.
Would you give it a seal of excellence?
I did. So did you. You like it too.
Yeah, good game. It's
actually one of the first games that Zee and me played together.
And I've never not thought about that unfortunate incident.
That was a very memorable game. We'll talk about it someday in the future.
Life-changing incident right there.
No, but it's a game I remember strongly. Anyway, Op is coming out with Harry Potter Talisman, which I have to say I think fits Talisman better than, like, say, Star Wars.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, how could it not?
No, I have Star Wars. I played Star Wars Talisman a few months ago. It exists.
I actually didn't know that it really exists. Oh, wow. No, I mean, obviously, this is an obvious IP add-on. I hope the game plays better than the original Talisman. Let's face it, the original Talisman is dated. It was dated when it came out originally. So,
yeah, if you like Talisman, you'll like this. If you don't, you won't. Just straight up.
Right.
All right. So now we have a new game coming out from Capstone, being co-published with Furland Spiel, Ark Nova. Now, the cover for Ark Nova, that grouping of animals feels like they took it from a jigsaw puzzle. But what do you think about the cards, Zee? Because you normally don't like what I call screen caps. These aren't screen caps, but they're actual photographs as opposed to art. I was curious what you would think about that.
I like this look. I think it's looking all right. There's a nice amount of graphic design going on around it. Like it looks polished, maybe even a little bit busy. But I do like the way the cards look. I don't mind if it's about the grain of a screen cap more than it is about what's being shown. Like a picture, like, for example, Trekking the National Parks has pictures of the parks. Gorgeous, stunning vistas of the parks. They're great. It's the problem is when you do like Lord of the Rings, the collectible card game, and they run out of characters after the first expansion. And then it's like Joe, the spear wielder. And it's like a guy standing in the back that they have to blow up, and you see the literal pixels. It's like, come on. This looks good. I like this. I like the card look. I don't like the cover, I'll be honest. Don't love it. Everything else looks good.
That grouping of animals just felt a bit generic to me.
And then the floating on the tea leaves thing, I'm not feeling it.
The game itself, there's not a lot to talk about. You have 5 action cards. There's 255. You play these cards and they let you do things. It almost sounds a little Race for the Galaxy-ish.
It sounds like, it looks and sounds like Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition.
Well, that's also based on Race for the Galaxy.
No, I'll deny that till my grave.
It says it in the book.
Deny.
The book.
The check is in the mail, right?
Definitely borrowed. I love the photos. They're actual animal photos. I love that portion of this implementation here. But yeah, I mean, let's see how this plays. Could be interesting.
All right, the next game, which I need to say before Mr. Buonocore does, is a German name game, which you can read for yourself there on the screen. It means shift change. The funding is in your hand.
Schicht. You can say Schicht.
No, that you can now. When we were off screen, you had a really hard time pronouncing that. This is from the designer who made that Cole trilogy of games, the Ruhr and Hasselnecht. No, I'm not kidding, Z. It was a trilogy.
I know you're not. It just makes me laugh because it makes it sound very thematic. The Cole trilogy of games.
The Cole.
Coming up from the designer of the Cole trilogy of games, Wool. It's what's new.
Actually, this may be
shear 'em to hell.
Actually, this may be the third game in that trilogy. I'm not sure now because it's another game about Cole. The thing I'm a little confused about here is it says it's 60 to 90 minutes, but just looking at that picture of the game, that feels longer than 60 to 90 minutes.
It looks like a very serious game. Yeah, it's a cool art style. The picture depicts a very sort of boring activity, but I like the brickwork on the side there. The illustration looks cool, grimy, like it looks interesting.
All right, then PSC Games has announced Total War Rome the board game based on the video game franchise. Although I'm kind of surprised that Total War is so small on that title. You think they would push that more?
Is Total War the one you always see them advertising like on Facebook, like there's just lots of like shooting and like everything gets? I don't know Total War.
No, I think it's like a computer video game. I think it's like a bigger thing than like an like a phone.
Yeah, Rome is actually it's Total War. I'm looking it up a little bit. It's came out in the second one came out in 2013 for Microsoft Windows. It's in a series of games. Oh, the original one was in 2004, Rome Total War. So the same thing here. It received positive reviews, but had technical problems. It was very, very popular. I don't know what kind of game it is. Turn-based grand strategy and civilization management with real-time tactical battles. So, all right.
I love that cover, by the way. That cover is really great for me.
It looks like a video game cover, right? I mean,
it just looks like.
It makes me think.
War.
That cover, for some reason, in my head, I have flashbacks of walking into like a Circuit City and buying a CD-ROM video game. That's what that cover makes me think of.
CD-ROM, you just said? Okay, I got it.
Yeah, like buying a DV, like a video game.
What time is it there? It's like 8 a.m. Rum. Anyhow,
he said rum. Go ahead.
The game is taking 3 hours. 3 hours, and with expansions already planned. So be prepared. It's hard to tell if the game's going to be good or not. We'll have to wait and find out.
Right.
I'm all in.
All right. Yummy, yummy Monster Tummy. This is actually from Lucky Duck Games, working together with HYBR. So they're starting their kids line, essentially. I think we announced this before where they were starting that kids line with I love that they made their logo a younger duckling.
Yes, right.
I don't know if this game it's a cooperative, color matching, family friendly style game, but I love the look of this game. That's a good cover. The cards look good. It's busy cover, but it's for kids. I think and the name is the kids are gonna like that too.
Beautiful game.
Yeah. You start them with this, and then you hit them with the Cole trilogy.
Looks beautiful. Lucky Duck is doing great work, and I like the fact that they're getting into kids games that might actually, be good. That's kind of cool.
All right, Great Plains. This is in Lookout's 2-player line. Yeah, you're there.
I'm there. I'm at the Great Plains Game Festival.
You're there? Which
there.
one are you? I'm guessing the orange one on the cover.
No, he's definitely a snake.
Definitely a snake. But I'm disguised as the orange guy because of this horrible light I'm in.
Got it.
This is a 100%.
I love the way this looks.
This is an abstract strategy game, straight up there.
Sure, yeah. I love this cover. I really like this line, actually, from Lookout Spiele. I like their 2-player games, most of them.
Yeah, they have a good record for that.
They do, and this game looks beautiful on that table. I like the cover. I like what's going on. Yeah, this is singing to me. This is the most exciting piece of news here for me.
Seriously?
Did they say the designer of it?
Yeah, it's I can't read one of the names. I'm sorry, but the other one is Brett J. Gilbert.
Trevor Benjamin's the other one. He's a really good designer. He did Undaunted, War Chest, and Mandala, which you like.
Yeah, this has my name all over it, man. I'm here for this.
I'm looking. I don't see that, but all right.
It's on the back.
Oh, it's on the back. Alrighty. So Queen Games, trying to add confusion to the board gaming world, is reprinting a lot of classic Feld games, but renaming them because I think that I'm still not sure. I mean, there must be restrictions on this. The reason they're renaming them all. We've talked about this before, but like it's going to be hard for me to remember which one's which. But they've shown off the cover for Marrakesh, huh?
So what is being renamed? Is Marrakesh the rename? Or
Marrakesh is a new one? Marrakesh seems to be a new one, but like New York City is so Hamburg is Macau reprinted, and Amsterdam is Bruges reprinted. In New York City
Rialto
is
Rialto.
What is that one called?
Rialto.
Rialto reprinted. So they're just like, okay, city name, pick a different city name. Now it's there. Change the look of the buildings. It is confusing. I agree.
Is
really confusing.
Queen did not do the original, or did do the original?
No, they didn't. Like
they did not.
Z-Man did.
Yeah. So obviously, it must be Z-Man
but you can't own the rights to a city name.
Of course not. Of course not. But you can for that city with these exact mechanics that probably can be protected. I've never really given that a thought because I never had to, but probably you could protect it in that regard. But if you take the same mechanics and you just change the name of the game completely, there you go.
And that's fine. I mean, I get that they're doing it, and this series looks good, and Queen does a good job with their production. I'm just, for myself, I'll be like, do I need to get this game? I'm not sure. I already have it. Is this one better? What are the changes? Hopefully some videos are put out that compare the new one to the old one. Like, if I already have Bruges, do I need Amsterdam?
Doesn't sound like it.
I don't know. I think they changed a few minor things, Tom. They did make some changes, but I don't know. That question is, unanswerable right now. I will say I don't like the fact that Hamburg and Amsterdam, the two they announced first, have on their cover clearly a stone arch across the top, and then the next two do not. Are you going for a look, or are you not going for a look?
That is true. I wonder why. Maybe so you can hold them in a perfect square like he's doing there.
And it looks like a one big arch. No, I don't know.
No.
It doesn't. I thought that too. I wonder if one will flow into the other. No.
No, it does not.
By the way, Stefan Feld there, he is quite tall. He's taller than I am, which is a very rare thing. Very nice person.
He's a tall guy. Very nice. Very nice.
Now, a great provocative title has been announced from Pandasaurus, That Time You Killed Me. This is a narrative game where you're going through time. It looks pretty short, 15 to 30 minutes, and you're rival time travelers trying to erase each other from history. Whether the game is good or not, and I don't know, I love that theme. That sounds fun.
This is one of the greatest ideas I've ever heard for a game.
And that cover is really funky. I like that cover too.
Tom, you and I are playing this game. That time you killed me,
right? That time you killed me.
Yes.
It's really funny.
All righty. And then finally, and I mean finally, because this game was shown off to people years ago, Rio Grande has announced Dice Realms from Tom Lemon. I don't know if you've played this, Mr. Buonocore, because I know he showed it off at the gathering in the past.
I did not. I know that as you said that, I remember people playing it with Tom at the time. I mean, who knows? I might have, because it's been years.
Yeah. So this is Dominion, the dice game, in many ways. It's a game that has those customizable dice that they've used in. They used them in the Roll for the Galaxy expansion. They used them in Stephen Glenn's game.
The one about
fair.
A circus clown or something, yeah.
Yeah. So they have these different faces. In each game, you'll pull from a bag. There's 35 tiles in this bag. You'll pull 5. Those are the 5 you use in that game, along with standard faces. So like 10 decks of cards in Dominion. And then you're rolling dice, and there's a fate die and things like that. It sounds very straightforward. I'm not thrilled by that cover, but I like the idea of this game. I'm pretty excited about it. It is a pricey game. I want to say it was $120. But there is 650 plastic die faces. I'm sure it was not cheap to produce. But that's still a big price for a dice game.
$120 MSRP. That's a lot for a dice game. It's a lot for any game. But
yeah,
hopefully it stands up.
Again, I keep saying, folks, get used to it. Next year, there's gonna be a lot of games over $100. It's that time frame is here.
Yeah,
You remember when I said? Okay, I'm not trying to brag here.
We remember when you say this, and we're still saying you're wrong. But go ahead.
What did I say? What was I going to say that you said that I said? What I said?
For $200, and you said that's good for the consumer, and we were like, "How's that good for the consumer?"
Did not say you always twist my words. No, I said that this is going to be a new. Fantasy Flight is testing this idea that they can take one of their major IPs and way bring it up, production, everything, and make it a $175 game, and now they can see if that's going to stick. I didn't say it was good for the consumer. I said it's good for publishers to be able to push that price point up. Consumers are going to have to deal with it if they want these really, really big production games, and this is obviously one of them, though it's a dice game, kind of odd. And then the Fantasy Flight games, you're going to see lots of these things going for these big numbers now if all of these current games actually work in the market. That's what I said. Thank you.
Well, I don't disagree. I think that we're heading in that direction, especially with shipping prices not dropping anytime soon. So.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and disagree just for counter argument. Okay.
Thank you.
Just because you can.
Noted. I like my objection on the record. All righty, folks. That's the news.